What's up, guys? Real quick before we get into the video, um, just want to give out a quick moment of silence for all the victims of the tragedies of this week. There's been more than one. One's getting a lot more news coverage for a good reason. That was an assassination, but there's been a lot of other tragedies this week. There's been school shootings. There's been a bus stabbing. That's just disgusting. Some other stuff at a naval academy, then a military base. So for all the families affected with all these tragedies, quick hats off moment of silence. Alright, to the video. Well, hell. Sitting here, I just started watching SmackDown. I've struggled for content for this channel. The other channel, Gladiator Toys, already had content made for this week. This channel, I didn't have content for the whole week. I only had part of the week, so these last couple of days I just haven't had anything. I did record something yesterday, and I decided not to post it because to be perfectly honest, I'm having a lot of troubles processing this week. I'm struggling with it, I'm not gonna lie. But I didn't start this channel to get into stuff like that. I think it was an absolute tragedy and disgusting. And anybody that defends that act is absolutely insane. And I want nothing to do with you. But I'm not going to get on here and talk about that. I simply just needed to get on here and record a video. It's 7:30 right now. By the time this comes out, it'll be 8:30, depending on how long it takes me to record. And I've sat around all day. Generally, on my Fridays, I record almost all day. And I haven't recorded until now. I haven't recorded for the other channel. I usually am recording for both channels throughout the day. So, but my channels, we try to have a positive vibe. I have kicked many people off of the podcast we do every Sunday for comments that don't belong. This channel is all about wrestling. Gladiator Toys is all about toys. Action figures, die-cast cars, Legos, doesn't matter. It's all about toys. There's no place for anything other than that stuff. Unfortunately, every now and then, the real world comes up and bites me on the ass and makes it very difficult for me to maintain my positive attitude. I mean, sometimes I just struggle to be positive, but I try to stay positive all the time. I'm generally a happy person. It took many years to get that way. I wish I had some wrestling figures to unbox. That's another problem I'm having right now. I've got a bunch of AEW stuff. Honestly, it's older AEW stuff. I know they're not that old a company, but it's still older stuff that just kept getting pushed back. And now my concern about doing unboxings with those is that they're not relevant, which will not help the algorithm push it out. So I'm still going to unbox them. I'm going to do some stuff. The content that happens with those figures will just be a little different than normal. I won't do full reviews unless I get hold of one of them that's extraordinarily bad, in which case we'll talk about it. we'll do video. Most of them will probably just pop up in a short, nice little 360 view, and probably move on. AEW figures don't come with a lot of accessories, so there's not a lot to unpack with those anyway. So most of it will be shorts, you know. So, and I'm trying to come up with some ideas for other long form videos to post on the channel. I can always get clips from the podcast and post. That's fine. But I struggle to find other long form videos to do. I don't like to sit here and just ramble on. Well, I say I don't like to. I do. I prefer I didn't. But this is just kind of where I'm at, and I decided instead of sitting here with the thoughts in my head, I'll record them, and this time I'm going to put it out. So I know it's not necessarily wrestling. I am watching SmackDown right over here to the side. That helps. The Brock Lesnar segment was funny. I'll go ahead and spoiler alert. If you are watching SmackDown later, Brock Lesnar gets confronted by Ron Cena. And Ron Cena gets an F5, and Brock Lesnar splits his pants. So hashtag blue underwear. And that's why, actually, to be perfectly honest, I decided to go ahead and record, because you know what? That was supposed to be, I think, a little bit more of a serious segment, and I believe they tried to change that up a little bit, and then Brock splitting his pants really turned it comedic, and he laughed about it. He showed his butt to the announcers and stuff. It turned into a big deal. He walked out smiling and high-fiving people. So that's what we need. We need positivity. There's not enough of it, and every time there is some, there's a small handful of positivity. A big giant boulder of negativity tries to smash it. And my goal is to add to that positivity, so that's what I'm going to continue to do. Like I said, I was feeling very discouraged for the day, and I didn't get stuff recorded. I'm going to regret that. But I'm not going to stop recording. Not stopping YouTube. It's too much fun, and it's a great outlet. It's not like I have thousands and thousands of followers, but I have enough that it makes me happy. I am probably, hopefully tomorrow, I've got a new project I'm getting ready to start with my daughter. And hopefully we'll be having Instagram set up very soon. And we're going to be sharing our photography on there. I think I talked about this on a video on the other channel, but we recently have purchased some camera equipment. It's something that I had a lot of fun with when I was younger. I never had this kind of camera. This thing is way damn smarter than I am. So I got a lot of learning to do. She's in photography class, so she's got learning to do, but she's getting some training with it. So hopefully she can help me along. But we're going to bring that to Instagram and be posting our photos on there. And then we'll go from there. As soon as that's up and running, I'll do videos on the channels and post links. So if you're interested in that, we're definitely, you'll find some action figure photography. I'd like to try my hand at some of that. You're going to get landscape, you're going to get wildlife, you're going to get scenery stuff. Whatever we think we can make some pretty pictures from, that's what we're headed for. So it should bring us to some really unique places, and hopefully we'll find some really cool stuff. So stay tuned for that. Again, It's hard to spread a positive message when so much negative happens, but can't let that stop us. So, moving forward, videos continue. I don't know if there are going to be as many action figures. They won't send any new stuff in our area, so it's very hard to find without buying on secondary market. Sometimes ringside is okay. I gotta wait for them to have a sale before I do that again because there's extra cost involved on that. What am I looking at? I thought I was looking at Ray Phoenix. What the hell is he wearing? Sorry, squirrel. Can't help it. Anyways, all that's coming up, so make sure you stay tuned. Wait for that to hit. Like I said, plenty more stuff coming. I've got a trip going to Texas very soon, which is my home state if you didn't know that already. I've got some plans of some places I want to try to hit. Most of that content will probably be on the other channel, but there will be some content for this channel. That's something else I've got to work on, so I've got stuff coming out that entire time I'm gone, so I don't have to worry about posting constantly. I can post shorts every now and then with whatever I need to do. So, anyways, if you listen to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Like I said, I was struggling for content, and I'm struggling to process the heinous acts of this week. And I'm not just talking about Charlie Kirk, because there's been a plethora of heinous violence this week. And yes, the Charlie Kirk assassination is getting the most publicity. That's probably the wrong word, but coverage, news coverage. Publicity shit. I'm sorry. I'm not a thesaurus. I'm a Texan. Shit. All right. I'm sorry. So it's been a lot to take in. It's like every time you start scrolling on social media, you see there was another shooting, another violent act. Damn. But I'm not going to continue worrying about violent acts. I'm going to continue bringing you guys positivity, me having fun with my action figures and other toys on both these channels, and busting out the live podcast every Sunday. So that's what we're going to do. For all the families involved in all this horrible stuff this week, our hearts go out to you. Just awful. But we're going to continue with a positive vibe. I know this video may not have been the most positive, but it's going to help me get back to the positive. So anyways, please leave me know in the comments down below if you're struggling to process. Join me live on Sunday, and we can try to process together. We're not going to get into it, but we can still hang out and help each other through. Talk some wrestling, or Lord knows, last Sunday it went from wrestling to the whole other left field when we got into movies and childhood fears. You never know what's going to happen on the Gladiator Wrestling podcast. Every now and then we're having the podcast and the ADHD hits, and we run off that way chasing squirrels. So it's can't miss TV, you guys. So like, comment, make sure you check out the podcast. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on the bells, and you won't miss the podcast. Check out my other channel, Gladiator Toys, right here on YouTube. Check out the other half of Gladiator Wrestling Podcast, The Chase Collector, right here on YouTube. We're also on TikTok with all 3 channels, plus Gladiator Wrestling Podcast infamous Third Man. That's right. The NWO is not the only people that can introduce a third man. We did it too. That's Lucha OKC. Check him out on TikTok. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to me ramble. Let's get back to positivity. Can't we all just get along and have opinions and not care what anyone else's opinion is? Anyways, Gladiator out.